Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
All right, so it's an unusual Tuesday because you're going to be telling us about Chuck's because there was a rare Monday night show last night.
Yeah, and it all started with, of course, Chris Molly emerging as the front runner. All this because of the bad weather, Annika. It's nice to have Gerard here. Maybe he brought some of that sunshine with us.
Hopefully.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll say it's him. We'll bring it in. His first day back at work. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. Chris Molly has been on a fantastic run of late. Ultimately, this is the penultimate race in the CPCA event, which means the second to last. You got to go in as a champ. You got to be excited. And of course, we will get to his heat because he did pretty darn good. But before that, there's a guy named Chance Bensmiller who was definitely on fire in heat number 7. Now, this guy was on barrel 2. He was up against Dean Mitswing, who was on 1. Ken Walters on 3. And off the hop, Bensmiller from the infield will clear it. He's perfect, no penalties. He would get the inside rail until right after the first turn. Then he would turn on the jets, looking for day money. He at least had a wagon's length lead on top of Mitswing and Walters, and no one catching Bensmiller. In fact, he would have the fastest time of the night with a 58.28, but it wasn't enough to catch a certain man named Chris Molly, because in heat number 12, this guy was not only looking to break a track record, which he set a while back, but he was also looking to beat Ray Mitswing and catch up with him in the standings, who, by the way, Mitswing was on the 1 barrel. Wayne Knight, who's also in the top 3, was on the 3 barrel. Molly on 2, manages to break out of the infield penalty free, something that's dogged him in a recent memory. Here he grabs the inside rail, and you can tell he's definitely on a mission, breaking free from the competition. In fact, he was too much for everybody. Molly finished with a 57.51, which would have given him the track record, but he took a late outrider penalty, which gave him a second. But you know what? It is all good. Why? Because he won the show. He takes the aggregate after 2 days of racing with that penalty, finishing at the top of the standings with a 156.40. Bensmiller very close behind in second. He's had a great second half to the year. BJ Carey, another guy who's had a solid second half. He's in third. Lane Bremner fourth. Vern Nolan squeaking into the top 5. Now to those driver standings, Ray Mitswing continues his stronghold on top. Molly close behind heading into the final racing week. Despite all the trouble this season, Wayne Knight in contention, sitting in third. BJ Carey has made a nice steady climb for himself, as I just mentioned. Lane Bremner would round out the top 5. Now, let's hear from the Turtleford champ.
Definitely those 2 days off. The horses were fairly fresh coming out yesterday, so you knew they're ready to run. They're well rested. We gained a couple extra days, which we don't want because we want to run, but the Turtleford Ag Society put a heck of a job getting the track together so we could run yesterday and today. So it was good, but you know, the horses were fresh and ready to go, and those 2 days sure didn't hurt them.
To hockey now, and the Lloydminster Bandits head into their 25th season in October. And over that time, the team has definitely seen its share of glory, winning 13 Junior B titles, 6 provincial crowns, 2 Canadian championships. And a big reason for that success starts with the leaders on the ice, like a Scott Hood, a Dion Pollard, or a Jamie Walker, to name a few. Well, today the Bandits unveiled another captain in team's history, Brody Pollard, actually the nephew of a former captain named Dion. Brody led the Bandits in scoring with 18 goals and 43 assists, guiding them to the semifinals in last season's playoffs. Pollard says he's excited to take on a bigger role in his final season with the Bandits.
It's a big deal. I'm not the first person with a Pollard name on my back, so I'm representing my family and my city. My dad coached here way back when and everything else, so this team has always been part of my life. I've always looked forward to putting on this jersey every night I've played for the past 3 years, and I think that's helped me get to where I am today.
His play is kind of what we're trying to build our identity around, but it's the little stuff in the locker room, away from the rink, is what makes him a strong leader. Not only at hockey, but in life in general, and that's the kind of leadership we need to build this club around, just off his work ethic and his accountability in the dressing room, and he's just a natural leader. So it was a very easy decision for our club to name Brody as our captain.
And some news on the Lloydminster Bobcats. According to the AJHL, the Cats have announced that they traded goalie Chris Tai to Alberni Valley of the BCHL in exchange for future considerations. Should be interesting to see who they have as a goalie moving on. By the way, forward Evan Schumi has committed to Colgate University of the NCAA. Schumi, 13 goals, 11 assists in 54 games in the orange and black last season. And that is your first look at sport. We are just one sleep away from the biggest CPCA event of the year. And of course, I'm talking about the Westridge GMC Pro Tour Finals. For the next 5 days, drivers will be fighting for a chance at the Canadian title, a brand new truck, and possibly a spot in next year's Calgary Stampede. Here's what you can expect for this week.
It's the ultimate race week. 31 drivers started the year with high expectations, but only a few remain in the running for the championship dash. The CPCA season has seen 3 men dominate. Ray Mitsewing, Chris Molly, and Jamie Labicane have won every race show leading up to Lloydminster. But only the former are in the top of the standings. Mitsewing leads the way with 560.5 points, while Molly sits in second with 541. Wayne Knight has put a disastrous Calgary Stampede behind him, quietly climbing up this season's standings. While BJ Carey is in the hunt, putting a bad 2014 season behind him and perhaps a chance at a title that slipped out of his grasp in 2012 and 2013. Vern Nolan is laying in the weeds, but by no means does that mean he should be forgotten. Nolan has made a career of coming alive in big events. Take his performance in the Calgary Stampede as an example.
Mr. Vern Nolan!
The 3-time Canadian champ will look to make it 4 in a row, just 5 points behind Carey for the final dash spot. All in all, it should make for a great 5 days of racing.
All right, well, the NSL or NSRBL trophy will be handed out tonight as the best-of-3 series between the Border City Blue Jays and the Lloydminster Twins continues. It's been almost a week since these two teams last met. The Jays took Game 1 by a score of 2-1 Wednesday. Steve Lodish had 16 strikeouts in the contest. The series took a bit of a break as the Bluebirds were in provincials this past weekend. Now, if the Jays win, it'll be their first championship in the team's history. The Twins, though, they'll have something to say about that, winners of the last 6 titles. They will look to earn number 7. First pitch, though, is at 6:30, and it starts in this game, Legion Ball Park. Right before that, they will present Steve Lodish with the MVP plaque, as he expects to also be on the hill tonight against Steve Barber of the Twins. Should be a great contest.